This Puerto Rican has something to say about the island that I love, where my family is from. Puerto Rico is trash. We are Americans, Donald Trump. Americans.
All right, let's speed this up.
We voluntarily serve disproportionately high in the military, while you have bone spurs. And we vote. Pennsylvania is home to almost 500,000 Puerto Ricans. North Carolina, 115,000. Georgia, 100,000. Arizona, 64,000. Wisconsin, 61,000. Michigan, 43,000. Nevada, 27,000. We vote Donald Trump. Trash. And by the way, Jennifer Lopez, Ricky Martin, Bad Bunny, Luis Fonsi, and Mark Anthony have over 345 million followers on Instagram. I think you only have 26 million.
All right. And so, you know what's so funny to me is that I guess they don't get mad about this joke either.
Donald Trump said he was going to build a wall. And George Lopez said, you better build it in one day, because if you leave that material out there overnight.
Okay. All right. So I think y'all get the point. I got to go back to this screen. Oh, I hate looking at this lady. All right, y'all. So let's get to it, man. What's going on, everybody out there, YouTube world, YouTube land? I'm Jay Jones. Look, the joke that was said at Madison Square Garden, like I said, you don't have to like every comedian's joke. Not every comedian is your taste. You know, I did my research on the guy a little bit. I mean, he's a roast type of comedian, so it's kind of insulting. Do I think it was a good move on the Trump campaign? Probably not. But, you know, this is the one thing that they could take away from such a massive, massive event that happened at Madison Square Garden. And that's all they wanted. They literally got that one thing and left out and said, this is what we're going to hang our hats on and say that this was a Nazi rally. Sunny Hostin. Gosh, I can't stand this lady. This lady is so delusional. I don't see how anybody could be in a relationship with her. And I feel bad if she got like a baby daddy or something. Woo, boy. But anyways, it's funny how they blame Trump for something that he did not say. He didn't say it. And I bet you if I go have some conversation right now with some liberals, they're going to say, well, he did this, he did that, and they're going to move the goalpost all around. And all I'm going to say is the comedian made the joke, not Donald Trump. So while you're up there trying to give your little hate speech, Sunny Hostin, you should be talking directly to the comedian who made the joke. And then a day later, there was someone from Trump's campaign that did denounce it and said, you know, it was a distasteful joke, you know, and we denounced, you know, that comedian from saying that. But that won't go onto your CNN platform, your left-leaning platform. They won't play that from Fox News where the lady said that. But you know, it's kind of funny. And like I said, George Lopez makes a joke about Mexicans stealing. And they're like, oh, it's funny. It's George Lopez. We did it. As long as the Democrats do it and they're in control, it's fine. But when the other side does it, oh, it's the end of the world. The only problem that I have with this video, and I'm going to keep this on track because, you know, the spew is just insane. How do you hold Donald Trump to that standard or hold Donald Trump accountable, right, for what that man said? That is another man. If I hold an event and I have some speakers and the speaker says something I didn't like or I wasn't prepared for him to say, how is it my fault that this person said that? Now I can address it afterwards and say, hey, I don't agree with that. I don't like what he said, X, Y, and Z, but he's already done it. I don't know how to stop him from saying what he's going to say already. You should be taking it up with the comedian, not with Donald Trump. But see, when you're so Trump deranged and you're Trump obsessed, right? Because we got to call it what it is. When you're Trump obsessed, any and everything that happens is Trump's fault. Any and everything is Trump's fault. If someone else says something at a rally, it's Trump's fault. If someone does something at a Trump rally, whether they're in the crowd or on stage, it's Trump's fault. But I think that we should turn our attention to something else. The massive crowd, I wish I had it up here right now. The massive crowd that was at Madison Square Garden, right? And in fact, maybe I could play a little bit of it. the crowd at Madison Square Garden was insane. They had people outside waiting to get into the building. It was crazy. Let's take a look at it real quick. I'm probably gonna have an ad pop up, but let's take a look at exactly what the media does not want you to see. And it's this right here.
So 7th Avenue here is blocked off with dozens or hundreds of Trump supporters. City officials held a security briefing emphasizing that a robust police presence will manage the event with multiple checkpoints and surveillance.
Outside of Madison Square Garden is what you're seeing. People are waiting to get into this building.
In place. The NYPD announced significant street closures around the venue.
Like, man, Madison Square Garden is an iconic place. You can't just go there and expect to sell out a crowd. You have to actually be somebody or a sports team. You know what I'm saying? So, I just think that, unfortunately, when it comes to Trump, anything that he does good, they always want to find the one thing to make it bad, and then they blow it up, and they will talk about that. And that's exactly what they did. They said, let's talk about this comedian for the next couple of days so that we don't talk about the massive people that he had inside of Madison Square Garden. And if you really think about it, it should be quite alarming for Democrats. You know why? Because it's in New York. It's a Democrat state. And guess what? It was massive. I don't think he's going to turn the state red, but the fact that he has that, it says something. It says something. And I heard there were many speakers up there. I heard Dr. Phil was there. Elon Musk was there. Tucker Carlson, Melania. I heard there was a lot of people there. So are you going to sum up the entire, I heard it was like a 6-hour event or something, or some couple hour event. Are you going to sum that up to just the comedian? And that's when you understand that you're Trump deranged. Because you don't watch the full clips of Trump. You only catch what the media tells you. And this is probably why you delusional Democrats only follow what someone tells you to do. When the party tells you to embrace Kamala Harris, even though she got 0 votes in her primary, but you're going to love her anyway because this is the only choice you got, this is why you guys follow suit. This is why you guys look silly with Harris and wall signs. Because you don't even have a candidate that earned her way to the presidency through her primary. She was chosen because the person that you voted for that got 81 million votes and won his primary has dementia and can't run anymore. And they want to hide him so they can continue running this Democratic machine. And they just selected Kamala Harris, who's a bad candidate. And y'all are supporting it. And only thing that she has to run on is abortion. That's it. That's all she's got is abortion.
Sensational.
As a man, I don't care about abortion. I don't abort children. I don't care how unfortunate the situation would have been even before I had kids. It is what it is. I'm going to handle the situation. I'm not aborting kids. I'm not. I think it's wrong. Like, I'm just call a spade a spade. You can have your choice and do what you want, but that's not something that I wanted to do. I thought it was wrong. And it's a selfish decision. And that's all she's running on is abortion. She's not running on the border. She's not running on the economy. She's not running on anything but Roe v. Wade, which is now with the states. And y'all falling for this. Meanwhile, Trump's got massive crowds everywhere. I voted early. I've never voted early. I voted early because I chose to on Saturday. I don't know what I was riding around with my kids in the car and I'm thinking like how crazy my schedule has been. And I said, you know what, man, instead of waiting till election day, I'm going to go and vote early. Because if I can just get in there, even if it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm going to do it. I walked in there, literally was no line. I walked in there and I walked out within 15 minutes. And I think it's a great message for Trump to say, vote early. because I think it's always been a good strategy from the Democrats to encourage voting early, and you should. Everybody should vote early. And so I think that now that he's pushing that, I think when they start opening these ballots come election day, they're going to start seeing that a lot of the early voting was probably some Republicans. Just saying, because I'm one of them. But anyways, let me know y'all thoughts below. You know, I just like to get this stuff off my chest. I seen this thing. I was not a fan of the comedian, but I don't have to like the comedian. I don't have to like everyone. Some are funny and some are not. But he's also a roast comedian, so this is what he does. But to take that and to say, see, it's a racist rally. Hey, it's a Nazi rally. To say all of that, it's a bit of a reach. But the news stations need something to talk about. Because talking about Trump at Madison Square Garden is way too big for them to talk about. We have to talk about something that went wrong there. Meanwhile, they won't talk about the pro-Palestinians that continuously go to Kamala's rallies and interrupt her. Within the last 2.5, 3 weeks, every rally she's just about done, they have been there. But they won't cover that. They won't cover that, but they'll cover something on Trump. See how the derangement goes? See how deep it goes? Let me get out of here. Like I say, after every video, this is chess, not checkers. I'm going to see y'all at work 2 times.
Audio Jungle.